We are talking Timberline Resource today, call sign TLRS and the OTCQB in the States, TBR, Toronto Venture Exchange up in Canada. So they report their final results from the 22 drilling campaign at the Eureka Project in Nevada. We run through the details of that news. We got CEO Patrick Highsmith. All right, Patrick, Happy New Year. It's been a minute since we've connected. Timberline, been waiting for those final results here. Here they are. Lay them out for investors.
Hey, Rob. Yes, good to be with you. Our first call in 2023, and appropriately, we're putting a cap on the 2022 drill program with the results we announced today. And this is from 8 holes at our Eureka Project in Nevada, where we continue to really aggressively explore for our Carlin-type gold deposits out there. And most of these holes were focused at our water well zone discovery there at Eureka, Rob, and a couple of holes we put into, I think 3 holes into the Oswego target, and 1 hole was kind of a big step out at a new area called the South Pediment. But in a nutshell, what we announced here, and mostly this was diamond core drilling, okay, so not reverse circulation, but core drilling, because we've really been in a data gathering mode. We need to see these rocks. We need to get the best geological information we can, because we're drilling a likely high-grade Carlin-type deposit at water well. That means it's going to have very high-grade bits. It's going to be chopped up by faults. It's going to be moved around quite a bit by these faults. And then it'll have lower-grade bits, and we got to piece that whole jigsaw puzzle together. And really the highlights from today's release are we do continue to hit consistently mineralized zones in a geological contact at the base of the Dunderberg Formation with the Hamburg Formation. Those rocks, right where they come together, each time we drill that horizon, we hit gold, Rob, and we've done so again. And the highlight in these results really is that we have consistently hit gold on the south end of the water well zone. The significant intercepts range from about 8.5 up to about 29 meters thick of gold in that zone. The grade here is lower than we have often seen. And so some folks might look at this and be disappointed. But geologically, it was really key that we were able to drill around the known mineralization and continue to find gold, and we've done so. And really, I guess the best intercept we had was about a little over 29 meters of 1.06 grams per ton in the south end of the water well zone. But that included 9 meters of over 2 grams per ton, and 1.5 meters of around 3 grams per ton. So there's higher grade bits within it, but it's a thick zone of low grade. We had some other nice intercepts like 8.5 meters of 2.4 grams per ton that included 4 meters of 3.6 grams per ton. And then there were several other thicker but low grade or thin higher grade intersections around 3 to 4 grams per ton. I think the takeaway here, Rob, is really it's the phase of exploration that we're at in Eureka. We've made this discovery at the water well zone, and I would refer the audience to check out the news release because we've got a nice map there showing where these holes come from. But importantly, we also show a cross section that explains how all this fits together when you slice through the earth. And what we can see is the zone is present. We hit a really great intercept in this neighborhood last year, 41 meters of 5 grams per ton in hole 212C. And we offset that. We went to the east and to the west and to the north and to the south. We see the zone there. It does continue. And actually, a few months ago, we pushed it out to the south very nicely with a 23-meter run of 4.3 grams per ton. We were really jazzed about that intercept. And these are just representations of that same zone, a little lower grade, but there are importantly still zones running 2, 3, or 4 grams per ton, which may well be economic as we stitch this thing together. And as I looked at that cross section, we look at our geology, Rob. What we're seeing is that this is kind of like chasing a block of Swiss cheese down there 300 meters below surface. And by that, I mean gold deposits are never continuous. They are highly variable in grade and in thickness. So these things can pinch and swell. So imagine trying to drill that from the surface. And what happens is you hit a good zone, you offset it by 30 or 50 meters away, and you hit maybe a gap altogether. And that's probably because a fault has broken up that thing and moved the rocks around a little bit. Or maybe you just hit a thinner zone and on the other side over here, you hit a thicker zone. So that variability is part and parcel of gold exploration. It's the challenge we all have to deal with. And frankly, we're super excited with the quality of the data we got. That cross-section that we show in the news release shows the outcome of a lot of hard work to piece that jigsaw puzzle together. And we've got a much better chance of being predictive to go where the thicker parts of this zone are, particularly on the east and to the southeast, which, as we show in the news release, are literally wide open with huge opportunities to chase these really solid intercepts that we've had at the water well zone to the east and to the southeast in particular.
Yeah, so let's talk about the 23 program here. I know, like you said, you're excited, so you want to get back out here and hit a couple more zones. So talk about 23.
Yeah, we've had some great discussions as these results came in to sort of figure out a strategy. And of course, one of the things you'd like to do is to show the world that on our 70 square kilometers at the Eureka Project, which is right down the heart of the Eureka Gold Belt, which connects us to our neighbors to the north, I-80 Gold Corp, who continue to do some ripping good drilling up there for both gold and silver in these same rocks. The thing that kind of ties that all together is let's make sure the market knows that not only are we going to keep drilling the water well zone, and a number of these holes we predict will hit really nice grade and thickness, as we've seen in the results earlier this year and some of the results in late 2022. And then also, though, we shouldn't forget we have a resource immediately to the west that sticks out of the ground. It's called Lookout Mountain. There's about 500,000 ounces of gold there in the measured and indicated category. And most of that is oxidized mineralization, which might be able to be produced at a lower cost and without as deep an excavation as would be required for these high-grade, deeper discoveries. So we're going to make sure that we focus some drilling also, Rob, on the near surface and oxide parts of the system at Lookout, which is right next door to the water well zone. And then across the valley, our Windfall target, where historic mining produced over 100,000 ounces of gold back in the 80s. That area also has oxide gold mineralization, good grade mineralization coming to surface. So we anticipate sort of two prongs of that program, the deeper, higher grade search at Waterwell, with chasing this shallower near surface mineralization as another component of our program. And we also are advancing some newer targets with both high grade gold and silver in the near surface environment that we expect to be rolling out a plan for in the next month or so, Rob. So we'll be able to talk a little bit more about that third prong of the Timberline attack for 2023. So right now we're crunching the data. We finally got these results out. We've got some year-end reporting to finish up, and then we're going to be present at the PDAC in Toronto, and all through February and March, we'll be talking about our work program for 2023, which will no doubt involve drilling on at least 3 different fronts, as I just outlined.
A lot to pay attention to, so we'll keep our eye on the wire. Appreciate that update. That's Patrick Highsmith, CEO, Timberline Resources, TLRS, OTCQB in the States, TBR, Toronto Venture Exchange in Canada. Patrick, appreciate that update there. Look forward to catching back up when you have some more news to report.
Thanks for having us. We'll be here all year, Rob.